What's up, guys, and welcome back to my channel. Khamzat finally broke his silence on the altercation with Ian Garry during the press conference where Arman was on stage. Khamzat explained that Ian came up to him aggressively, slapping his back instead of showing proper respect. He said that if someone wants to show respect, they should touch gently, not hit or smack somebody. According to Khamzat, Ian wasn't being respectful at all, and the way he approached him felt more like he was trying to start something rather than greet him. Khamzat went on to say that Ian came over to create hype for himself and attempt to present a moment similar to something Conor would do, but insisted that Ian will never be Conor, no matter how hard he tries. He made it clear that he saw right through the act and didn't appreciate the energy Ian brought to the interaction. He repeated that respect is simple. If you want to show it, you touch someone calmly. You don't punch them, slap them, or try to spark drama just to get attention. He added that Ian tries too hard to be someone he's not, saying the whole thing felt forced. Khamzat dismissed the moment completely, pointing out that there was nothing impressive about what Ian tried to do. In his words, Ian was just trying to create noise, but it didn't work on him. And before we continue, make sure to leave a like on the video and subscribe to help support the channel. Moving on to another news, Ian Garry addressed the altercation at his press conference. According to him, Khamzat took things way out of hand when all he was trying to do was congratulate Arman on his win and ask Khamzat when fans would see him fight again. Garry explained that he walked up to Arman, congratulated him, then approached Khamzat and said, "Hey champ, what's up? When are we gonna see you back?" Khamzat replied, "I don't know, brother. Whenever I smash." Garry said everything seemed cool, even getting a slap on the back, and then a security guard stepped between them. He said they were literally fine 1 second, and then suddenly that childish energy came out, with Khamzat trying to push him for no reason. Garry turned around and told him, "You're meant to be a champion of the sport, and you're acting like a child. You're taking away from your friend's win. Calm down, slow down, and have some respect instead of trying to steal the headlines." Garry ended by saying, "Sorry, I'll get him one day." While Garry competes at welterweight and Khamzat currently holds the middleweight title, the chances of them meeting in the octagon remain low. Khamzat has shown no interest in cutting weight to return to welterweight, and Garry is focused on climbing toward a welterweight championship opportunity. If they ever cross paths competitively, it will likely be far down the road. Moving on to another news. What's next for Arman following his latest UFC win? Ilia has repeatedly shut down the idea of facing Arman next, but after UFC Qatar, it's becoming harder for him to ignore what Arman just did inside the octagon. Arman extended his winning streak to 5 and delivered a dominant submission victory over Dan Hooker. From the opening seconds, Arman pushed forward with sharp pressure, mixing powerful punches with relentless takedown attempts that kept Hooker reacting instead of setting any rhythm. During the final grappling exchange, Arman smoothly advanced his position and locked in a tight arm triangle choke, forcing the finish and leaving no doubt about his momentum in the lightweight division. The moment the fight ended, Arman used his post-fight interview to call for a showdown with Ilia, making it clear he is ready to step in as early as January if that opportunity comes his way. The bigger question now is how the UFC will choose to navigate this situation, especially with the lightweight and featherweight divisions heating up. Arman's performance not only strengthened his claim for a high-stakes matchup, but also placed real pressure on Ilia, who has tried to dismiss the matchup multiple times. Still, with fans pushing for the fight and the rankings tightening, the path ahead feels more intriguing than ever. Arman has made his intentions known, and his latest win has ensured that the conversation surrounding his next opponent won't be fading anytime soon, and his momentum continues to build with every dominant performance. Moving on to another news, what's next for Ian Garry following his latest UFC win? Even though he wasn't able to finish Belal Muhammad the way he predicted, the Irishman still delivered a convincing performance and secured a clear decision victory over the former welterweight champion. From the opening moments, Garry relied on sharp jabs and well-timed kicks, immediately finding his range and causing visible damage. Muhammad was bloodied early, and things briefly took a worrying turn when he suffered an eye poke, bringing back that familiar "here we go again" feeling. Still, he pushed forward, trying to land heavy rights as the fight went on. Belal leaned on his wrestling to shift the momentum, shooting repeatedly, but Garry's defensive grappling held strong. He stuffed key attempts, stayed composed against the fence, and continued beating Muhammad in the striking exchanges. For all 15 minutes, Garry stayed disciplined, clean, and confident. When the final horn sounded, there was little doubt about the outcome. The judges all scored it for Garry, pushing him further up the welterweight ladder. After the fight, Garry made his intentions clear. In his post-fight interview, he called for a matchup with the new welterweight king, Islam Makachev, saying his win over Belal proved he deserves that opportunity. He doubled down during the post-fight press conference and announced he's heading to Georgia to prepare specifically for Makachev's style. Garry said Georgia offers world-class wrestling, judo, and overall grappling talent, and that he needs every bit of that experience if he plans to dethrone the champion. He spoke directly to fighters in Georgia, calling on every southpaw wrestler and every athlete who thinks they can mimic Makachev's game. He said they need to find a place to train, and he'll meet them there as soon as possible. Garry mentioned that after the press conference, he would exchange numbers and start organizing the training camp immediately. He highlighted that improving his wrestling to match Makachev is crucial, and he's willing to invest everything into that preparation. Before wrapping up, Garry thanked everyone for their support, praising the Georgian community for their skill and toughness. He said he appreciates their help and is ready to put in the work. Networking after a win, building a smarter camp, and positioning himself for the next step in his career, Garry made it clear he is fully committed to capturing UFC gold. Moving on to another news, following his loss at UFC Qatar, Dan Hooker released a light-hearted video, making a bit of a joke out of the whole situation. When asked about his future goals, he said you sometimes have to face the cold, hard truth, and he's probably never going to get his hands on a title. Still, he made it clear he isn't going anywhere anytime soon. Dan said he plans to stick around as long as he possibly can and ruin as many people's hopes and dreams as he can along the way. He added that if he can't have nice things, then no one can, delivering the line with his signature dry humor. The video ended with a toast, Dan raising his glass and saying cheers, fully embracing the moment despite the loss. His attitude showed once again why fans appreciate his honesty, toughness, and ability to laugh even in difficult moments. Moving on to another news, Belal Muhammad has shared a statement following his loss to Ian Garry. He posted a photo on his Instagram and wrote that they couldn't get it done this time, but he's grateful for everything that came with the experience. Belal thanked Doha for the memories and expressed appreciation for his team, his family, and his friends who stand by him no matter what. He also thanked everyone who continues to support him through the highs and lows of his career. Belal added, "Alhamdulillah for everything," saying he feels blessed to be in the position he's in despite the setback. He made it clear that the journey isn't over and that there's still a lot of work to do as he starts focusing on the road ahead. His response was humble, grounded, and full of gratitude, showing once again the mindset that helped him reach the top of the welterweight division. Moving on to another news, Sean O'Malley broke down how Ian Garry managed to defeat Belal Muhammad. He described it as a quick and clean display of smart striking and perfectly timed techniques. According to Sean, Garry used two highly effective tools throughout the fight: the intercepting knee and the well-placed stomps. He joked that the sequence almost felt reversed, saying, "First you take out the eye, oops, and then they don't see the stomps coming." His point was that once Belal's vision and timing were disrupted, those low-line attacks landed with far more accuracy. Sean explained that Garry executed both techniques beautifully. By targeting the lead leg and controlling the distance, Garry forced Belal into uncomfortable positions. Then, once he had Belal reacting and pulling away, Garry was able to mix his shots and land them at the same time, keeping Belal guessing and unable to build momentum. Moving on to another news. During the Qatar post-fight press conference, Arman doubled down on his pursuit of Ilia and made it clear he isn't backing off. He said Ilia should leave the title and hand it over if he doesn't want to fight real contenders. Arman explained that he will never look for easy fights, and if the UFC gives him anyone, he'll step in without hesitation. He reminded everyone that the promotion knows he's always ready, and that Ilia keeps avoiding his name because he understands who the real #1 fighter is. Arman also took things to Twitter right after the presser, calling out Ilia again while still showing respect to Dan Hooker for accepting the matchup. He wrote that a fight between him and Ilia is the best possible matchup across any division, and that there should be no more running. He added that Hooker showed more courage than the current champion by stepping up when others wouldn't. From a merit standpoint, Arman's claim is hard to argue against. He entered the weekend as the #1 ranked contender, and his dominant performance ensured he'll remain in that same position on Monday. His message was loud, direct, and impossible to ignore. As he continues pushing toward the title he believes he has already earned. Moving on to another news, Khamzat spoke in a backstage interview and gave huge praise to Arman, saying his performance was absolutely crazy. He explained that Arman looked sharp from start to finish, and the way he controlled every moment showed he's operating on another level. Khamzat said he expected the fight to end the way it did, and even though he waited to see how things played out, he already knew Arman was going to secure the finish. He went on to say that Arman is the best right now, calling him the #1 guy and a true champion in his eyes. Khamzat added that he believes Arman is one of the best fighters in the world, and after a performance like that, there's no doubt he deserves a shot at the title next. According to Khamzat, Arman shouldn't have to prove anything else. He's earned his place at the very top. Moving on to another news. Ian Garry continued speaking about his preparation for a potential fight with Islam Makachev and revealed that he plans to train with Ilia while he's in Georgia. He said that working with Ilia and the team there will help him stop the Russians and the Dagestanis from having further success. Garry believes that sharpening his skills alongside them will give him the tools he needs to shut down Islam's takedowns and take his head clean off his shoulders. He explained that he already spoke to Ilia and the people at WOW, and he would love to return to Madrid as well. According to Garry, combining the support of his friends in Russia and Georgia will help him prepare for the toughest test of his career. As strong as his confidence is, the UFC's next move isn't guaranteed. Garry is not far removed from his loss to Shavkat Rakhmonov, while the undefeated Michael Morales is coming off a stunning stoppage win over Sean Brady. Morales has been on a tear, finishing his last 3 opponents in dominant fashion. That hasn't been the case for Garry, who has gone to the judges in each of his last 5 victories. Because of that, some believe Morales might be the more deserving challenger right now. Ultimately, everything may come down to what Makachev wants to do next, especially with the possibility of the long-discussed super fight against Ilia still lingering. It's also worth remembering that after Makachev ended JDM's reign, he mentioned that he views Kamaru Usman as the most deserving fighter for a title shot. Usman, currently ranked #8, snapped a 3-fight losing streak in June when he earned a decision win over Walking Buckley. All these moving pieces make the welterweight title picture more complicated than ever, and the UFC will soon have to decide who gets the next big opportunity. Moving on to another news, Ilia Topuria went off and released new footage of Arman following their recent run-in at UFC Qatar. As we reported earlier, Arman has been calling out Ilia during his post-fight interviews, but this morning, Ilia finally responded. He shared video footage showing a brief encounter at Qatar, where Ilia can be seen lightly slapping Arman. In his tweet, Ilia called out Arman for never saying anything to his face and accused him of freezing up whenever they meet in person. Ilia said, "Arman, every time we see each other in person, you freeze up like a scared duck with no idea what to do. You know I handle you however I want. I fight whoever the UFC chooses. And remember, I slapped you and you just laughed. Then you go around acting like a gangster. So keep going. You're on the right path. Just a few levels below me, kid." Arman didn't take long to fire back and responded on X, addressing Ilia directly. He wrote, "Bro, you touched my neck like we were taking a family photo, and now you're calling it a slap online. The clip is clear. your insecurities even clearer. I don't need to act tough for Twitter. My work is inside the cage. If you want to know what a real slap feels like, I'll be happy to educate you. See you soon, LP. The exchange shows just how heated the rivalry between Arman and Ilia has become. Both fighters are clearly staking their claim to the spotlight, trading jabs online while maintaining their focus on their in-cage performances. Ilia's footage and Arman's response highlight the tension, with each fighter confident in their own skills and unafraid to call out the other. As the hype builds, fans are eagerly waiting to see if this verbal back and forth will eventually translate into a high-stakes matchup inside the octagon, where both men will have the chance to settle their differences the only way that truly matters, through their performance in the cage.